Howdy guys, in today's video I'm going to show you how to adjust the shutter speed on your Sony a7 III to capture effects such as freezing action, light trails, or even shooting the night sky. So yeah, I'm going to keep this video pretty basic, so let's just get right into it. So before we get too deep into it, let's just talk about the basics. So shutter speed is pretty much just how long your camera's shutter is open. If it's open for less time, less light gets in the camera. If it's open for more time, more light gets in the camera. A fast shutter speed, such as like 1/2000th of a second, is good for capturing fast action, such as vehicles, animes, that sort of thing. Whereas a slow shutter speed, or something like 10 seconds, is better if you're getting more light in the camera for night shots, capturing the night sky, or capturing motion, such as light trails on a highway. Okay, so to actually adjust our shutter speed, we're going to go to the top of the camera here and move the mode dial to S. That stands for shutter priority, which means we're going to be able to manually control the shutter speed ourselves. You can also use M, but that's a little bit more complex and it's not something I think we should get into this video. So after you switch it to S, you just spin the back dial here, the spinny thing on the back near the screen, and let it adjust your shutter speed up and down. So let's first start by talking about fast shutter speeds. That's anything from, you could say, 160th of a second to, 8,000ths of a second. So fast shutter speeds are good when you're trying to capture fast action and you're trying to freeze it. So let's say you're watching a bike race or something like that. And the bikers are flying by at 80 miles per hour or something like that. And you want to capture and freeze the action. You're going to use a fast shutter speed and it's going to look like these people are frozen in time. Now slow shutter speeds, that's anything from a second to 30 seconds to 3 hours. That's where things start to get a lot more interesting. So a slow shutter speed can be good for capturing light trails. You've seen probably a lot of iconic photos with cars driving on the highway and their brake lights and headlights are stretched out across the entire frame. That's done using a long exposure, anywhere from 10 to 30 seconds typically. Otherwise, pictures of the night sky, they have to be done with a slow shutter speed because obviously the night sky is very dark. And the camera needs a lot of time to capture the information or the light of the sky. And then in that same vein, just shooting in dark low light conditions, let's say you're shooting in the city at night or photographing concert venue or something like that, sometimes you'll need a very slow shutter speed so the camera has time to actually record all that information. Now a big caveat to shooting at slow shutter speeds or shooting long exposures is the fact that you can't hand hold your camera while doing it, because even a little bit of shaking of your hands is going to make everything completely blurry and messed up in the image. So unfortunately, you do need to resort to using a tripod anytime you're doing things over, I would say anything faster than a 30th of a second. The a7 III has good stabilization, but you can't hand hold past a 30th of a second. So yeah, like I said, you're going to need a tripod, and tripods, it's a little bit annoying carrying them around, but they are essential if you're looking to do anything at night or shoot any sort of long exposure. This is a pretty expensive tripod, so I'm not going to tell you to buy this. Instead, I'll link my actual tripod in the description below. It's a pretty cheap, just super generic crappy one from Amazon, but I've had it for 5 years and it's been amazing for me. So yeah, to practice more with shutter speed, I would suggest just going outside your house or apartment at night, setting up your tripod, and just practicing at various shutter speeds until you can get a nice, evenly lit, clear image of your house. Otherwise, just go down to a local busy intersection or something, pop down your tripod on the corner, and just play around with the shutter speeds and kind of stretch out the vehicle's brake lights and stuff like that. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I mean, shutter speed basics are pretty easy even to get the hang of them, but I know when I first started photography, it took me a long time to kind of wrap my head around how this actually functioned. So yeah, my biggest advice, pick up a tripod, affiliate link in the description, and just get outside and start practicing at different shutter speeds, and you'll learn pretty quickly. And yeah, that sums up the video, guys. If this helped you, feel free to drop a like and sub. And if you want to learn more about your a7 III in particular, I do have an entire series of guides. I think it's linked up there, I believe. Yeah, up there. And you can go check that out if you want to learn more. But yeah, that pretty much sums it up, guys. And thank you so much for watching.